Today we are joined with.
My name is Megan Carroll. I'm an assistant professor of sociology at Cal State San Bernardino.
Amazing. And what is your topic of research here at PSA?
I study asexuality, so asexual people experience little to no sexual attraction to people of any gender. I'm interested in how families and different social institutions are organized around sexuality and how asexual people fit into those institutions.
Super interesting. And
Thank you.
we saw your talk yesterday. If you could just explain a little bit about what that was focusing on within that.
Yeah, thank you. So I gave a talk uh, Thursday about housing and asexuality, housing being an institution that is often organized around families, and thinking about asexual people as well as aromantic people as groups that are often left out of normative family options. So I'm really interested in how systems of housing are not really designed for asexual people, and that leaves them with really few options for who they're going to live with, how they're going to live. There's, different expectations in terms of as you get older, you're sort of expected to settle down and form a long term romantic partnership. And the term for that is amatonormativity. That's a term that Elizabeth Brake coined. But for people who don't, comply with amatonormativity, their options are pretty limited for who they're going to live with as they grow up.
Mhm. And would you be able to share any findings or anything that you'd want to tell people who didn't get to go to this talk?
Yeah, I guess what I would share is just generally for asexual people, there are a lot of different housing options that they envision. And it's important that we think about family diversity more broadly and how, our system of middle class housing is really built for nuclear families. And it's not just asexual people, like people of many different orientations and proclivities towards who they want to partner with. Um, they're just the single family home that's built for nuclear families is unaffordable. It's a little bit out of date, and I think we need to think about expanding to different housing options that accommodate all kinds of different lifestyles.
Do you have any ideas of what that would look like or what you idealize in the future you think of?
Oh, that's a great question. I think first of all, just having affordable options is like the number one priority, and including options to allow people to live alone. But a lot of what I've been hearing is this need for private space and shared space in the same type of dwelling. And so there's a history of different types of collective uh, housing that offers private space, but also shared responsibilities. We can rethink how housing structures or systems of childcare, even, and sharing more childcare with people in the same dwelling. So, those are some suggestions I would have in terms of policy changes or just infrastructural changes.
To round us out, what brought you to this topic, or how did you find yourself researching this?
Oh, that's a great question. So I'm someone who realized they were asexual pretty late in life at age 30, and I was finishing my PhD at the time and felt that I was frustrated that I never came across this information while I was working on my PhD. So I have built a research project that's also community based, which means I have a lot of community experts, community partners who are helping me, helping teach me what kind of research we need, what kind of research will help inform their work as community organizers. So I think it's important that we consider not only our own position, but the limitations of our position in relation to our research, and create research that can inform work on the ground that helps communities. So, housing is one of those things that came up in my interviews, just doing interviews generally about families and relationships and friendships. And housing was a theme that I was like, oh, I see a need here that community organizers need to be informed about and they can organize around.
Amazing. I appreciate you sharing today. That was great. Thank you for your time.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. It was great
Thank
to
you.
meet you.